What's up, everybody? It's the Kind of Collector here. Hope you're having an awesome weekend. In this week's episode, I just received a Grail piece in the mail the other day. I've been trying to track down this exclusive, super rare UK Palitoy Land of the Jawas playset, which differs a lot from the original Kenner playset that we got. So let's go ahead and check out the differences between these two sets and why the Palitoy one is so different and so rare and hard to find. Let's check these out right now. All right, so to check out the differences, first we're going to look at the box art. This is the original Kenner version of the Land of the Jawas playset. You can see here it's got this nice kind of like sky blue background, obviously with all the figures, the escape pod, and kind of a lighter blue. Looks like they just kind of had like a desktop with a different color shade of blue there at the bottom that they placed this set on, and has the original New Hope, Star Wars logo and silver piping. And you can see mine's not in the best shape, but I was happy to pick this set up complete with the box. So let's go ahead and check out the UK Palitoy version that Kenner licensed this out to for production in the UK. So here we have the Palitoy version. You can see it's much different. Still has the same Star Wars type logo and piping. This box is actually wider than the Kenner version, but it's just as tall. So a little bit more space inside of this box. But you can see, instead of just having the text on the blue background like the Kenner box, this box art has the Land of the Jawas, which is very similar with this type of artwork graphic that came on the card backs for the figures, which is really cool. And you can see behind the sand crawler is this really cool night sky with kind of a sandy desktop there where they were able to put this playset on for photography. But let's go ahead and check out the differences between the base that was made in the UK and the plastic base that was made by Kenner for release in the US, and the differences there. Let's start off with that next. So here we have the original Kenner, hard plastic base for this Land of the Jawas playset. Also came with this really cool escape pod that latches closed. And you can see kind of all the pegs that are on here, the sandcrawler treads right here. And then you have these pieces with the levers and the action. You can see how it rotates and turns and everything there on the bottom. Just much more intricate than the next Palitoy base that I'm about to show you. And it has this swivel here, and you can pop this all the way around, and it pops the figure off. Really cool. So that's the Kenner original base that we got for the Land of the Jawas playset. Let's check out the Palitoy version next. And here we have the Palitoy version of the base to the Land of the Jawas playset. And you can see right off the bat how different the plastic base is with the details. The treads are here on the left instead of the bottom right. On the Kenner version, you have kind of this mountain. The entire print in the form of this is totally different. And it's cool because it has the kind of cutout oval for the escape pod, but it didn't actually come with the escape pod. And then on the back, you can see here, it's just like, this, I don't know if it's vacuum formed, look like it is. And it's just glued to like this sturdy cardboard, and there's nothing in between, which is pretty unique to this base as well. And then this also included these little fight pegs, so you can put figures on here and move them back and forth. I don't want to do this too much because there's not a lot of these left that are actually intact and not, have been snapped off. So it also came with that and two of these little just stands for the Jawa figures. So there's the two stands there. It also came with a bagged Jawa. So you'll notice this base is, it was definitely more, I would say cheaply made. They didn't have the budget that Kenner had over here in the United States when they were making their Land of the Jawas playset. So the UK version, you can see it doesn't have all the levers and all the crazy stuff underneath. It's a much rigid, harder plastic than this base, but I don't know, I think I like this base better just because of how different it is and how cool it looks. So let's put both of these sets together and go over the rest of the differences. All right, so here's the original Kenner version from 1979, all put together. You can see the Jawas have captured C-3PO, R2-D2. You have the escape pod, we can move that aside. And so you see R2-D2 back there, he's on this lever. In the back, you can move him up and down, up into the sandcrawler, which is really cool. I'm not gonna try to do it because I'll knock everything over. But this just shows you kind of the overall appearance. You'll notice some differences on the sandcrawler cardboard on the Palitoy version next as well. But this is what we got from Kenner back in 1979. This was definitely one of my favorite play sets from back in the day. So let's go ahead and put together the Palitoy version and see the differences when it's all put together. And here's the Palitoy version. So right off the bat, you can see this base is much wider than the Kenner version. I even threw in this really cool custom mini rig. Ooh, the Jawa fell over. My buddy Steven over at Keepers Customs made up for me. And you can see the little fighting stands. Just put C-3PO here on one of the peg holder stands. But I wanted to zoom in so you can see the difference in the elevator lift into the sandcrawler. This has like a black plastic. It does not have any pegs that can fit underneath into R2-D2's legs or anything like that. It's much harder to move up and down, and it's a lot harder to place inside of the cardboard when I was putting this together. Also, you can see this cardboard is much lighter than the Kenner version. This one's in pretty much mint condition, which is amazing, especially with the box, has all the flaps and everything. So this is the difference between the UK Palitoy version of the Land of the Jawas playset and the original Kenner version that we got back in 1979. And lastly, this is the original Palitoy instruction booklet that we got on this bad boy. You can see how it's put together, the differences in the elevator lift, putting the black clip inside of the other black slider, and which is funny, as you can see here, there's the diamond cutouts for the little peg holders that go into the Kenner version, but this version from UK Palitoy did not come with those white diamond little foot pegs, which is kind of interesting and something I learned when I got this playset. So here's the back side of the instruction booklet, and that's it. Thanks for tuning in. And that's a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks again for tuning in. Throw a like on this. It really helps support the channel. I appreciate everybody. And until next time, collect the Kenner.